Hi, this is George, one half of Jack and George. We've just had a game of Carrooka at home and we just filmed it so that we could share with you some hints and tips so that you can pick up the basic rules of gameplay. Enjoy. It's not a particularly brilliant game. You get to see us warts and all, but hopefully it'll give you some ideas and some hints and tips. Okay, so this is us at our dining table in Leek, Staffordshire. Jack's just adding a little bit of powder to the board. It helps the counters to slide faster. We just use a Carrooka powder, freely available online. And then we set our counters up so that all the reds go in the centre triangle. We're showing you the 15 red counter version here. It's just the same for the 10 red smaller board. We are going to be making a triangle to make this a bit quicker, but it only takes a second like this. So the red counters are all worth 1 point. Jack's setting the coloured counters up there, and they have varying points, just the same as snooker. Yellow is worth 2, green 3, brown 4, blue 5, pink 6, and black 7. Please don't feel you have to remember all of this if it's new to you. You will have a rule book when your game arrives. So we're setting all the coloured counters up on the break line. That's the inner circle. This is also the line where you put the white striker counter when you start play and if you ever have to replace the white on the board. We're going to flick off the table into the reds. You must only hit a red to start with. Ideally, you try and pop them on the break. You can see one nearly went in there, but not quite. That means it's the end of my turn and play goes over to Jack. The beauty of Carrooka is that he can just spin the board to get position on his next shot, and he just edges in a red there, so he scores 1 point. He keeps his turn or break, and now he has to aim for a colour. He can go for any colour he likes, but he has to nominate it in advance and then only hit that colour. So he went for the green. It very nearly went in there, and it probably should have done, but his break ends with a score of 1. He's just keeping note of the score on a notepad and with a pen. My turn. I have a look and I miss. Sometimes it's actually harder when there's more reds on the table, and it can feel a little easier towards the end of the game, but you'll pick all of this up as you go along. Jack's got a nice straight red. We take the counters out as we go along just to stop the pockets filling up. And there's a caroo round the edge on the blue. Now when you pot a colour, it goes back onto its own colour spot. In that case, you can see the blue was slightly covered up by a red, so it goes on to the highest available colour, which in this case was the brown. So Jack carries on with his break. He scored 5 for that blue, on top of the 1 that he scored for the red, and he's back onto a red now. So reds stay off the board when you pop them, colours go back on until the end game. And he should have got that one. It just bounced back out, which does happen. So back to me to eye up my next shot now. And I'm onto a red. And that one goes in nice and easily. So that's 1 point for me and just starts me off. Now I'm looking at that green and it's a very thin snick because I don't want to hit the red first, and so I missed it completely. That's a foul shot, which gives a bonus shot to Jack. So no extra points like snooker, but a bonus shot like pool. So he eyes up his next red. Bit tricky, there's nothing easy there. He misses, but he's got that bonus shot, so he can have another go, and he can hit any red he likes. He doesn't have to stay on the same one. Having a good long think about it here. That's what we like about Carrooka. It is a considered game. It's not just a hit and hope. And he misses. So it's back to my turn. No, nothing there for me. So straight over to Jack. Deep in concentration there. And he's got a red for 1, He just nudged the black out. He might go for that, or will he go for the brown? Don't forget, you must nominate your colour and then you can only hit that colour. If you nominate and then hit something else, it would be a foul shot and give a second shot to your opponent. Nothing there, so it's back to me. Now, I'm going to play around the edge and I get that red. We call that a carroo, just because we can. So now I've got to go for a colour. I haven't left myself anything easy here. It's a really thin snick to that blue, but I'm in danger of hitting the red on the way. Looks like the only one open because I can hit the pink, but it can't go anywhere. Tricky one. And I missed, totally. Foul shot, 2 shots to Jack. So he's back onto a red now. Taking his time to have a little think about it. And nothing at all. So, oh, he's got his bonus shot, so he can have another go. And he gets it then, and develops the black nicely. Oh, but he's got the green hovering over the pocket as well. He'll have to be careful not to follow through with the white into the pocket. If he does pop the white, then it's obviously a foul shot. And in that case, your opponent would put the white back anywhere on the break line. He's potted that green for 3 points, and now he's back onto the reds. He misses, so it's my turn. Should have got that. Should have got that. Obviously not on form today at all. And I just lined it up for Jack, didn't I? He snuck that one in. Now he's onto a colour. Nothing doing, so he just scores 1 with that break. Points are building up slowly. The reds are going down. That was a good effort, but just undercut. You can really work on the angles that you're playing, so obviously you're aiming to hit one side or other of the red to make it go off in the direction you want to go off in. And just, he got one there. Just a quick note on flicking style. We don't have a firm and fixed recommended flicking action. We tend to put an index finger on the table and flick off the table. You can get a nice lot of power behind the flick that way. But you choose your own style to suit you. Bit of change of angle here, and it's my turn. Having a look at what's available. Nothing there. Now, Jack's got a plethora of reds to go at here. There we go. In for 1. Take the red out the pocket. Now, you just notice Jack just moved the white striker counter forward a little bit. If it lands touching the rail or between the rail and the margin line, that's the outer line, then you can just move it forward a little bit with your finger. It must still be touching the line. It just allows you to get your finger between the rail and the counter. So you'll just notice that we've done that every so often throughout the game. And it's the same around the pockets. You can just move the striker forward a little just to give you enough space to get your finger onto the table. Finally, I get one, and I'm nicely on the black. I do have the option to move it forward, but I didn't there. Got the black in, left myself a little bit awkward on the reds. The black goes back on its spot. And I'm looking at what's available. and I get that red. I was very lucky that the white didn't follow it in there. It's just perching on the edge, but I can move it forward to give myself that space. And now I'm back onto a colour, and I missed the black, which I was aiming for, accidentally potted the blue, which goes back onto the table, but that's a foul, so Jack has 2 shots. He pots the red with his first shot, so he still has 2 shots. He can carry it forward, only to the end of his break though. So he's on to the black, and he's set that up to pot it with his second shot. Moves the white out a little, and he misses. An easy black, a sitter, Jack. You wouldn't expect this from the current Carrooka world champion. Or that really, trying for a double and missed completely. And Jack does the same, although he admittedly gets a little closer to the pocket. You'll find as you move closer and closer towards the end of the game, you do start to get a little bit more canny with where you try to leave the white after each shot, the striker counter. You can make it really tricky for your opponent by not leaving any counters on. And he missed that one. Now, does that red just sneak in off the yellow? Oh, so close. It's just perched on the edge there. Jack fluked that completely. He wasn't aiming for that at all. But I think given the state of the game so far, he's going to take them any which way they come. So now he's on a colour. He's nominated the green, and he misses. Back to me. Only a choice of 2 reds now, so it's starting to get trickier. That's not an easy one next to the blue, but I can't go for the other one from here. But I've unfortunately left it so that Jack can go for it. Here's a look at the other. Weighs up the options. And he gets it. So his points are building up. He's back onto a colour. Nominates the green. Misses. I've got a fairly straight red. Should get that. And onto the black. Obviously, you want to hit the black in if you can because it's worth the most points. So you're going to build up your break scores quicker if you're after the black. Now, that was the last of the reds, so now we have to pot the colours in order. So at this stage of the game, you must pot yellow first for 2 points, and then the next one is green. And Jack has very, very cleverly Carrooka'd himself on the green. There was no direct path to it, so he had to try that double. He's missed, he's fouled. I've got 2 shots on the green. Should be complete miscue, or a misflick as we call it in Carrooka. Just totally missed the counter. And Jack fails to make most of it. He misses the pocket and Carrookas himself. That is a really difficult green to hit now. You're supposed to do that to your opponent, not to yourself. He moves his... Oh, totally missed. I've got 2 shots on the green. I should develop it with one and then pot it with the second. What I've done is just left myself in pretty much the same position, and I missed completely, and I've left it lined up for Jack. That's the green in for 3 points. Comes off the table now. It doesn't go back onto its spot. We're in the end play, and now he needs to hit the brown, only the brown. He misses that one, so I get a shot on the brown. Jack thought he had a second shot because he's so used to me fouling, but he didn't. I missed though. Just picking something off the board surface there. And keep it nice and clean so the counters slide freely. And for once he's actually left one lined up for me. Surely not even I can miss this brown. And there we go. So that's the brown potted for 4 points. So now I must go for the blue. There's nothing easy to do with the blue here. So if I'm sensible, I'll just make it awkward for Jack. And I'm not. I've just lined it up. Got a bit of an angle on there, but he should be able to get that. And he gets that for 5 points. And now we've reached the point here where Jack is so far ahead. If he pots the pink, he wins the game. So there would be no need for us to carry on and pot the black because he's so far ahead on points that I can't catch up unless I get pink and black. No, neither of us playing particularly well here. Just pushing the counters around. Surely he can't miss again. There it goes. That's it. So now there's no real point in playing the black because Jack's won on points. I'm just going to try a couple of trick shots and the counter leaves the table, which is a foul if that happens in normal play. So that's it. Thanks for watching. We've been horribly self-conscious. It's our first time of doing a video showing ourselves, and certainly with my voice on it. But hopefully it will help you get started with Carrooka. We will do more and better films as we get time. But we wanted to get this done quickly while the Kickstarter was still live. And of course, you're going to get a rule book, which is going to explain all of this to you in a much, much, much more organised fashion. But thanks for watching. Bye.